thank all of you, but let me thank the organizers of this race. One in particular, Margot Stengel. We know why Margot put this race on, but she needs to know what it means for us in this community and how important it is. Now, Margot says that this is the last one she's going to do, but let me tell you, anybody who dyes her hair red, white, and blue, something tells me that she's going to be back. And so, Margot, we hope you're back soon. We thank you for all you've done. As someone who's from this area, like I said, looking out upon this crowd, it makes me very proud. And as a veteran who served in Afghanistan, I'm very humbled by the fact that so many people would come here to pay tribute to everybody who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Look, growing up, all of us always heard about the people before us who fought for us. When I was a kid, I was always told about my grandfather who fought here to come here from Italy to give his children a better life. As Americans, we're always told about our founding fathers, how in the 1770s they fought to make sure that we, the people, could ensure our own democracy and our own destiny. And as being from here, going to Carmel High, being a Carmel High Padre, I always heard about Father Serra. Now, I know we've heard a lot about him, for better or for worse, but I knew how much he contributed to this community, and he did it with a maxim: to always go forward and never turn back. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to honor the men and women who always ran forward to the front lines, who never turned back, and unfortunately, yes, those who never came back. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, we should always make sure that we have an obligation to those people. Now, for the most part, our government lives up to that obligation. But we know we cannot leave it up to our government to take care of that obligation, all of it. That's why we're here. Look, as veterans, we get it. As veterans and service members, we have a bond. We have a bond that brings us together. It carves us into the history of this nation. It weaves us into the fabric of every American flag you see flying today. And let me tell you, this community gets it. This community gets it for so many reasons. One, because of its rich military history. Two, because of the many military institutions that line Monterey County. But most importantly, looking at all of you, it's because of the men and women who came here, who served here, who stayed here, who contributed to the culture here. That's why this community will never turn its back on those who never turn back. And let me tell you, next year is going to be a big year to demonstrate that. Because next year, you're going to have the opening of the Central Coast Veterans Cemetery. For over 20 years, our veterans never gave up, and our community members stepped up, and that's why that cemetery is going to open up next year. We never turn our back on our homeless veterans. That's why we support the Veterans Transition Center and the amazing work that Terry Berry's doing. We also support the biennial stand down, a stand down where homeless veterans across Monterey County, across all California counties can come and get the essential basic services they deserve. We will never turn our backs on the veterans and the service members who become ensnared in the criminal justice system. Because I'm proud to say next year in Monterey County, for the first time, we're going to have a Veterans Treatment Court. And we will never turn our back on our servicemen providing the essential medical care for the people who served. Because next year, that building right over there, the Major Gurley DOD VA Medical Health Clinic, is going to open up. Now, when we look at this, when we start our run, and we see that building, obviously we're going to be proud. But let me tell you what else you're going to see along the route that you run. You're going to see portraits of 14 men from our home who served and sacrificed. 14 men with the last names of Ashlock and Bale, Corpus, Ciros, and Sear, Hernandez, Howell, Javier, Johnson, Lee, Mitchell, Pfeiffer, Saunders, and Silva. 14 men. 14 men who ran forward, who never looked back, to protect, to preserve, and to perpetuate the principles that we live by. That is why they are the heroes of this country. That is why I'd go so far to say they are the saints of our community. And that is why we are here not to mourn their loss. We are here to celebrate, to be invigorated, and to be motivated by the fact that the legacy they left us is this country we live in. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, there are many countries on this earth that define themselves by their past. But America has always defined itself by its future, our children, and the greatness we have yet to achieve. That's why so many men and women have served and sacrificed. That's why we run today to pay it forward. And that's why this nation, of, by, and for the people, will always, always move forward full steam ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great run today, running forward, and always run tomorrow. Thank you.